Chad Gable is headed to SummerSlam to challenge Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Raw is over. Let's talk about it. We had a gauntlet match on Raw between Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, Dominic Mysterio, and Rusev. And it was a banger. Here's the order the matches went in. Dom beat Joe with the help of JD. Javon beat Dom with Danhausen's help. Dragon Lee and Javon put on an absolute heater of a match. And Javon won that. Then Javon lost to Rusev. Then Chad Gable beat Rusev. And then we had Chad versus Ethan, and their match wasn't very long, but I really thought Ethan Page was going to win because after Chad Gable beat Rusev, Rusev put him in the accolade for a good 30 seconds. Ethan hit a finisher, and then he hit a big boot and then went for the pin. I thought it was going to be over and they were going to make a terrible decision, but thank God that Chad Gable has won and is headed to SummerSlam in his hometown of Minneapolis to challenge Penta. And now all we need, please, for the love of God, have Chad Gable win. I really love this gauntlet match, and I cannot wait to see what if Chad Gable can win. I'm so excited to see him in person. Even though a lot of people think his chant thing is stupid, I love it. And I just personally, I might be biased because I'm from Minnesota too, and I live in Minnesota, but I cannot wait for this. And I am so excited to see him. And I just know Chad and Penta are going to put on a banger. Then the show opened with Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman said that Oba is obsessed with Brock, saying how he turned down a world championship match just to face him. And that is true. And I like that he pointed that out. He called Oba a big Nigerian dummy, which was funny. He got a fake restraining order against Oba Femi and had 5 fake police officers, protect Brock, which kind of just made Brock look like a pussy, hiding behind police officers. I mean, I did not like that part of it. Oba destroyed the police, and at this time, we didn't know that this was all fake, so Oba seemingly committed multiple felonies on live TV, violating a restraining order and attacking police officers 5 times. And I mean, the dude violated those police officers. And then Oba cut a great promo after he destroyed the cops and said, "You used to run this place and now all you do is run away," which I really liked. That was a great line. And we got it confirmed that Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar will not be main eventing the show. It will be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Roman and Seth in the main events. This segment was entertaining, but I did not like that Brock Lesnar was hiding behind a restraining order and police officers. And Paul Heyman said that he tried to get a no-touch clause for leading up to SummerSlam, which is so stupid. This whole rivalry is about he didn't get it, but the whole rivalry has been about these beasts just destroying each other. So that would be so lame. So I'm very glad that didn't happen. Then we had another banger of a match between Roxanne Perez and Io Sky. Both these women are phenomenal. They had great chemistry. Put on probably the match of the night. Io Sky won by a roll-up. Roxy tried to do a roll-up to Io while she was distracted by the Judgment Day, and then Io countered that into another roll-up and got the pin and won. Raquel Rodriguez absolutely destroyed Sol Ruca, who came out to make the save. She caught her, slammed her into the barricade, and then powerbombed her into the ring post. I mean, it made Raquel look like an absolute monster. And now, last week it was 3 versus 2. This week it was 3 versus 2 with Io and Sol. and the numbers game got to them again. The Judgment Day ended up on top. So I'm assuming Stephanie has gotta return next week, right? Right? I mean, I thought she was going to return a week ago. I thought she was going to return the week before that. But I feel like they've played out the numbers game enough. She's got to return next week, I feel like, to help Io and Soul, probably. Then we had a segment with The Vision and Maxine Dupree and Otis and Tozawa, the Alpha Academy. Maxine Dupree did a great job of showing emotion, and it was all fake. She turned on them at the end of the segment. She was getting really loud boos too, which was impressive. Austin Theory also got really good boos. And Theory, when he started his promo, his fake laugh sounded so fake. But the promo that followed was actually pretty solid from Austin Theory. He's never been very good at promos, quite frankly. And this one was pretty solid. And he was getting booed so much for insulting Otis. And then the Vision just ended up destroying the Alpha Academy. Braun Breaker the dude violated Akira Tozawa, split the dude in half. And Otis was about to say, like, this is something I wanted to confess to you. I want to say one thing or something like that. And he never got to say it, so I'm interested to see if they'll come back to that. Probably not. But, I mean, maybe they'll come back to it. I'm not sure. And I feel so bad for Braun Breaker. He needs to get out of the Vision. This faction is holding him back so much. And I do think Maxine Dupree brings some new life to the Vision, potentially. But Braun Breaker's gotta go. He's gotta go. He is being held down so hard. I mean, 6 months ago, the dude was in contention to main event WrestleMania. He was facing CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. And now he is in a feud with Tozawa and Otis. I mean, I'm done with this, man. Theory. Braun Breaker needs to leave. I feel so bad for him. He deserves so much better than this. Then we had an impromptu match between Royce Keys and Big Jim Uso, and it ended in a DQ caused by Jacob Fatu attacking Royce Keys. Solo came out to save Royce Keys and faked rejoining the Bloodline, and then they started brawling. The Bloodline ended up on top. LA Knight came out, made the save, and then LA Knight challenged them to a match at SummerSlam, a 6-man tag between Jay, Jimmy, and Jacob, teaming up against LA Knight, Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa. And I think everybody saw this coming, and I'm excited for this match. I'm glad LA Knight's actually doing something at SummerSlam, but I don't really like that he's teaming up with Solo because it goes against, like, so much stuff that he has said, how he hates the Bloodline so much, no matter who they are, and now he's teaming with a Bloodline member. So I don't like that part of it, but you know what, at this point, it seems like Solo is a babyface now, just straight up a babyface. And I'm very excited to see what that looks like or what that means. But you know what, I'm going to just take what I can get when it comes to LA Knight even getting on SummerSlam. The hot take for this one is, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at some of the members for that War Games match at Survivor Series, but man, just move Solo. Hell, even Royce Keys to Raw permanently for the Bloodline story. I'm just glad LA Knight, is doing something at SummerSlam. And I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Solo and Royce move over to Raw, especially Solo. He's been on SmackDown for a really long time, and I think it would help, and it would help with the Bloodline story. And Royce Keys is clearly not doing great on SmackDown. Then we had an interesting backstage segment with The Vision and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman congratulated them, says Maxine was but he said Maxine Dupree was so great to Austin Theory that what the hell does he need him for, and then stormed off like an angry girlfriend. And I'm not sure if this is Paul Heyman leaving the Vision. I don't know. It's what's been going on with Paul Heyman and the Vision this past couple weeks have been funky, if you will. I don't exactly know what's happening. Is he going to leave? Like, I don't know. Let me know what you think, though. Then we had a face-to-face between Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And I loved Lyra's look in this. That was a lot of L's. Loved Lyra's look in this segment. And I loved this segment overall. Lyra was saying how Bayley's been holding her back for an entire year. Says Bayley has problems. And she said, quote, "Everything I've ever made you feel good about, I'm lying." She says she's always been the worst of the four horsewomen, which was an awesome line. And Bayley challenged her to a match at Madison Square Garden at Saturday night's main event. And I pray to God that they also do this match at SummerSlam, because this match has been building for a long time. And for it to be paid off at a Saturday night's main event would be a huge disservice to both Lyra and Bayley and this match in general. I loved Lyra's ripped up shirt though. I loved her messy hair, like seeming like she's gone mad. I really liked that. The segment ended in a brawl because, you know, it's wrestling. And Lyra ended up on top, which I also liked. And I think Bayley, she might be gone after this. After this feud, I think she might be going to AEW. Maybe she's putting over Lyra one last time and then getting released. She's been booked bad for a long time now. The last time she was in the Women's World Championship scene was SummerSlam 2024, where she lost the title to Nia Jax, the WWE Women's Championship title. So I could see Bayley leaving after this program with Lyra. The hot take for this one is I hope this will be the end goal, and the picture has Lyra and Tatum Paxley. In case you don't know, Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley were tag team partners in NXT for a while, or like best friends. And with Lyra's new heel character being extremely similar to Tatum's character, I could absolutely see this happening, and I would love this. And with the women's tag team championships being on the main roster, it would be really interesting to see Lyra and Tatum together on the main roster. Then in the main event segment, we had Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins contract signing. This was a great promo, but Roman Reigns absolutely decimated and destroyed Seth Rollins here. I mean, it was not even close. Roman said Seth Rollins is the Tribal Chief's #1 hater. And I also want to add that the crowd was great the whole night, like surprisingly good for an American crowd. And then as they both signed the contract and Seth was walking away and walking out of the stadium or arena, whatever, Roman was like, what if you do win? What's going to happen? You're going to carry it for a couple months and then get hurt again, which was an awesome line. And they just kept on coming. The low blows just kept on going. And he said, after all these years, he still needs the Money in the Bank briefcase to win a world championship. And he says he had to fake an injury just to use it. He said, your work daddy Triple H is running this joint, and you still can't be at the top of the mountain. And then Seth's comeback was just extremely lackluster, because he said, I'm so glad that I'm not you, even though last week he was saying how badly he wants everything that Roman has gotten. So Seth got cooked, not gonna lie. I can't wait for this match. I'm very glad that they are exploring the long history between these two. This is exactly what Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes should have been, but they didn't do that. And I really hope that these two just are able to cook on the mic next week together. And honestly, in the following weeks. Oh, well, I don't think Roman's going to be here next week. I hope he's going to be here on the Go Home episode before SummerSlam, I believe, of Raw. So I really hope that they get a chance to just go face to face and talk on the Raw before SummerSlam. Give them a 15-20 minute promo and it would be awesome. And then it ended in a brawl, and Seth Rollins ended up on top. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and